Action coming thick and fast. Men's steeplechase. Athletes out on the track, and this you feel all about. Once again, Sufyan El-Baqali. There's the lineup in full. And there is El-Baqali, the Olympic champion, the world champion, Morocco's first ever Olympic champion. One of the highlights of the Diamond League season. In the heat of Rabat, the crowd went crazy. Haile Mariam Amare will be challenging the diminutive Ethiopian. Look out for him, the African champion in yellow. Abraham Kibriwat from Kenya, the Commonwealth Games champion, will also have a say. Getnet-Wali is there for Ethiopia. Serem, the Kenyan. Kipsang, closest to camera. Notable absentees, Lamesha Girma, who has been El-Baqali's closest contender. He's not here, neither is Consensus Kipruto. So away we go, 7.5 laps of the track, the water jump, the barriers as well. And really, it's all about who has the courage to take on El-Baqali, because he can win from so many different ways. We say the same of the likes of Inga Britson and Faith Kipyegon, but El-Baqali, well, he's got such brilliant finishing speed. There he is, just loitering around at the back as he is inclined to do. Pace-wise, well, through the first kilometre, Wilberforce Cornez, who is the first pacemaker, the lead pacemaker, has been asked to go through in 2:40. That'll bring them out at around 8:02 pace. Cornez and Broussel as well is in there. In fact, Broussel is leading the way at the moment through 2 kilometres in 5:22. That's around 64-second lap. So 2 pacemakers, Kipsang there, and it is Serem who is in effectively second place, with El-Baqali just keeping out of trouble at the back.
He is, isn't he? He's tall enough to be able to see what's going on, isn't he? But ahead of him, he's just happy to keep an eye. Interesting, isn't it? You know, over the next couple of years, how this event develops with 1 or 2 of the younger steeplechasers coming through. It's the women's event that seems to be really developing in that sense. El-Baqali might be thinking, you know, the challenges are there, of course they are, but he's somebody who could keep dominating this for another 2-3 years at least.
Well, he could. He very rarely loses a race. The last significant defeat was here in Zurich a year ago. He won't want to make the same mistake again.
Kari Sanya of Sweden, 6th of the world champs. That's a pretty good effort. You can see there the lead that we saw right in the beginning from Valletta, almost getting out to 7 metres with the very first jump of the competition, or her first jump of the competition. 6.97. Colleen, 6.50 in second place. That's not going to be too far away, though, is it, for Sanya? Good on the board. No jump in the first round, and that one 6.55, so she's going to move into second place.
Approaching the first kilometre, and the 2 pacemakers still out in front, with Kipsang and Miura, the Japanese athlete, who is also joining the leading group. 2:40, bang on the money in terms of placemaking, so well done to Adarafia Broussel, who's sticking to his task, sticking to the brief. Kipsang there is effectively leading the race, with Serem, his compatriot, in second place. Getnet-Wali there in the turquoise of, well, I say Ethiopia, it's not the Ethiopian colours, is it? It's the turquoise for Getnet-Wali. Leonard Bett as well, a training partner of Consensus Kipruto. Kipruto, by the way, heard from his manager over the last couple of days, just has a bit of a back problem, wasn't comfortable hurdling, and therefore took the precaution of not coming here to compete in Zurich.
Pacemaker peels off. So now we'll see what happens. El-Baqali just thinking of getting a little bit closer on the outside there. I think in his favour as well. I mean, he's a tall man. The barrier's obviously perhaps a little bit easier, but he's got pretty good technique. It's not the best, but it's certainly effective enough. Particularly when he's at pace, though. You know, it's not so much during the race. You want to conserve as much energy as you can in the steeplechase, going over the barriers, not too much chopping and changing. Keep your rhythm, up and over, but it's when you start going at pace, particularly on the last lap, when you're tired and you're fatigued, that's when it really comes into play. And he's good at that.
He's very good at that, very good technically, and also has got this blistering finish at 3:31, 1500 metres. Quick word about the man in yellow, easily recognisable, Haile Mariam Amare, who was second behind El Bakali and Lausanne last time they all went out. The only athlete who really had a go at El Bakali, and now he's just feeling his presence on the right shoulder towards the back of that pack. Approaching 1700 metres, will get a split time at 2 kilometres. They were bang on the money after the first. Serem is tucking in behind the pacemaker there. Kipsang, Wale, and now El Bakali just starting to move through the gears, but again, just keeping out of trouble. He has this ability just to switch direction and switch through very, very subtly indeed in the latter stages of the race.
They're not going to be too far off the required pace. They did ask for 5:22. They're to get over this barrier down the back straight. They'll pass the 2k mark, and well, might not be well, a little slower perhaps than they would have liked, but he's done his job. He starts to move out, waits for others to take it on. El Bakali just having a little look, maybe not too keen. 27 in fact in the end, so yeah, they did slow a fair bit. 2:47 that second kilometre. I mean, they could drag it back, but they'd have to go now, and they don't look like doing that.
Yeah, it's El Bakali who will be determining that, you sense. So Serem then on the inside with El Bakali up on his shoulder, getting it Wally in the turquoise there. Kibiwat and Mari, let's keep an eye on him in the yellow vest. Wally, who's got plenty of pedigree, also qualified for the 5,000 metres, but opted just to concentrate here on the steeplechase. Leonard Bett is starting to take closer order, coming up on the shoulder of Wally with 2 laps to go, and El Bakali, surprise, surprise, is exactly where he wants to be.
He's beginning to look as though even he might not leave until the last 200, isn't he? He's kind of itching to go, isn't he? You can see he's feeling good. There you can see that extension that he starts to take as the pace picks up, attacking the barriers, just stretching out. Doesn't want to lose momentum, doesn't want to lose any sort of pace. Just a little check there, and away he goes.
Well, he won't want to make the same mistake as last year. As I say, he's only lost once in 3 years. Last year he was beaten here by Benjamin Keegan in what was really a highly tactical race. He got his tactics wrong. He's never won the Diamond Trophy, and he won't want to make that mistake again. And here he comes into the home straight for the penultimate time. In the driving seat, Kibiwat in second place. Wale in third, with Serem in fourth place, and El Bakali will hear the bell just outside 7 minutes. 400 metres to go. El Bakali is almost there.
Yeah, Wale almost climbed over the previous barrier. He was a bit better there, lost a lot of ground to Kibiwat, but Kibiwat himself trying to hang on El Bakali, and it's only a 5-metre gap. But look at how he extends over that barrier there, takes it in nicely in his stride. But the gap's not getting any bigger, and now Wale is starting to get moving down the back straight.
Wale is taking closer order, breezes past Kibiwat. Has he left it too late? Plenty more gears you feel to come from El Bakali. El Bakali rounding round the crown of the bend. Just the water jump and one more barrier to go. A little bit of a stutter for El Bakali, but he's safely over. Barely gets his shoes wet, and he's on his bike. A little cart over the shoulder into the home straight. Wale in pursuit, grimacing, gritting his teeth. Kibiwat looks as though he's labouring as well. One more barrier to clear. El Bakali, little cart over the shoulder. The celebrations already. Catch me if you can. Catch me if you can, but they never do. They never do. And El Bakali is the champion finally in the Diamond League. And the first time after coming perilously close to the title last year. El Bakali, Olympic champion, world champion, and now Diamond Trophy winner. The time, not important. The result, frankly, very rarely in doubt. And Wale, well, he gave it a go, didn't he? But El Bakali, you felt there were several more gears to go to. And El Bakali finally gets his hands on that coveted Diamond Trophy and confirmation of a place in the World Championships next year.
Team photo, that's nice to see, isn't it? go to this man again, Sufyan el-Bakali. As you said, time didn't really matter. It was a pretty good last 1,000 they ran. Was that 240? But it really didn't matter. He picked it up 600 to go and just gradually kept the pressure on. Got a little bit of a gap. Wale did his best, but when you're watching Wale, he was left something in the water. When you're looking down the back straight, Wale started his move. As soon as he went over the barrier down the back straight, he lost momentum again. And it's really hard. He did really well to hang on to second place, but just that ability to run hard at the barriers on that last lap and just keep going. Don't lose any momentum. Don't use extra strength. Just getting going again.
El-Bakali then finally is the champion in the Diamond League. Wale second, Kimiwa coming home just behind him in third.
Well, we've seen some of the women in the long jump. This is the turn of the men. Massol, round one.